on, everybody? Welcome to today's installment of Mike's Vehicle Vlogs, and I want to thank you for joining me today as it starts to rain now. We're taking this thing out today because today's video is going to be about the 1-year ownership of this 2006 Saab 9.3 2.0T that I technically got for free. I'll get into that here as we hit the road. We need to see if it starts though. I have not had this thing started probably in close to 2 weeks at this point. So she's been sitting. I think I have to take it to the gas station. We got to put some air in the tires, or at least the one tire keeps going a little low. So then we'll hit the road and we'll talk about 1 year with the Saab 9.3. It's actually snowing a little bit too, so I don't know if you guys can see it. So it's almost sleeting. Oh, it is cold. Actually, it's like 30, maybe 40 degrees. All right, the gas gauge is not correct. I'll tell you that right now. Here we go. Get the heated seats on. We won't need the passenger one on. Let's get some heat up. Not yet. Whew. All right. So you heard me say the gas gauge isn't right, and I started making a video about this a couple months ago, but you see the gas gauge is saying it's a half a tank, and it is definitely not at a half a tank. When I parked this car, the low fuel light was actually on, so I know that I probably have to go fill this tank up. You will notice that if when we fill this tank up, that gas gauge is going to completely drop to empty. So we will go into that a little bit after we hit the gas station. That's one of the more recent things that started taking place with this particular vehicle. As you can see, she has got 196,787 miles on her. I haven't even put a full 2,000 miles on it yet. It's close, I think. I got this car at 194,800 something. So yeah, we've almost got a full 2,000 miles on her. But yeah, we'll go into why I really haven't driven it all that much in the last year, despite the fact that I absolutely love this car. And I don't know, we'll go someplace in the rain, I guess, and get some outside shots. Yeah, so you can see we just started driving, up the road a little bit, and the tank has already fallen to about a quarter, and it's still continuing to go down. The low washer light warning came on, so that's why that thing is there. But yeah, apparently the the fuel level sensor, in the tank appears to be a common failure on this vehicle. And my stepsister told me that it was supposed to have been taken care of, to her knowledge, when she still had the car. And I asked her if anything had ever been done about it, and she said, yeah, her ex-boyfriend supposedly replaced it with another one. Now, whether it was a new level sensor, or if maybe it was one from a junkyard or something, I don't know. Supposedly it had been replaced already, but as we can see, it is already failing regardless of it being new or not. So I've noticed when I go to fill the tank up, it completely drops to empty, even though we've got a full tank of gas. So yeah, we're almost at the gas station, and you'll be able to see Watch it not do it this time on the camera, but usually once the car is moving, after we fill it up, it'll just drop straight to empty. All right, so $49 later, took 13.17 gallons of gas. So we can see it went all the way to the full mark. We're gonna reset our trip computer also, because that's what I've been going off of. So yeah, it is reading full, and if it's gonna do what it did to me last time, once we start actually moving, it's probably going to drop straight to empty. So let's see what'll happen. Of course, now it's probably going to make a liar out of me. It did it to me 2 times when I filled it up. Alright, well, either way, I don't know, but I'm expecting the gauge to not read 100% accurate anymore, regardless of whether it drops to empty now or not. So I've been using the trip meter to kind of, roughly somewhere between 200 and 250 on the trip meter, time to go ahead and refill the tank. I'm really surprised that's not doing it now. That's just so weird. Am I gonna do anything about it? I don't know. I'm kind of afraid to want to drop the tank out of this thing. I don't know if when it was fixed before, if it was fixed, through the back seat. I know I don't want to do that either, to be quite honest. But I might just let it go and use the trip meter to keep track of how much fuel's in the tank. I really don't believe that it's not dropping now. Like literally, both times that I did it, like as soon as I left the gas station, it just fell straight to empty. So I don't know. So anyway, yes, the 2006 Saab 9.3 2.0T. I really haven't done a whole lot with the car. The car is great. I really love this car. This car's got fantastic heat, I'll tell you that right now, because I'm really starting to get a little warm. But anyway, so yeah, this Saab is a fantastic car. Almost 200,000 miles on it. I definitely want to get it to the 200,000 mile mark. So the story of how I got this car was, it was actually my stepsister's car. She has had it for like 3 or 4 years, and she decided that she was going to move out to Colorado, where her dad lives, but she didn't want to take this. She wanted to, but she didn't, because out there everything's a little different as far as, the roads and such. She lives up in the mountains, so she didn't want to sell the vehicle because she's really attached to this car. She did a lot of, repairs and cosmetic upgrades to it here and there, and she was really attached to this car. She loved it. She adored this car. So she didn't want to sell it. She actually asked me about a year. Okay, so yeah, the entire plan kind of got out of whack, but she had asked me at one point, if I wanted to buy the Saab off of her. She was planning on moving to Colorado within like a year's time, and I told her I wouldn't mind having it. I just wasn't sure if I would have funds to buy a car, being that I already have three other cars. So she she kept me in mind. She didn't want to just let anybody have the car. So I definitely took that to heart, being, you know, that she really only entrusted me to have the car. And her plans to move out to Colorado came a little sooner than she was originally anticipating. So it got to a point where she was moving, and she just, you know, asked me again if I wanted the Saab, and I told her, well, I said, yeah, but I can't buy it right now, you know. So she actually just said, you can have it. So she gave me this car. It's a fun car. It really, for how old it is, you know, it does pick up pretty well once you get it moving. The ride isn't bad for almost 200,000 miles. It does need suspension work. So yeah, it's a pretty awesome car, I'm not gonna lie. This gas gauge is still at full. I don't believe this. Alright, I forgot to get air at the gas station when we were filling it up, so I just stopped off at another gas station to get the air. Yeah, the right front tire keeps going down to it keeps leaking. It was down to 21. Now that was an issue before. The rims on this car were really corroded, so I ended up, you know, demounting all the tires and resealing all the beads and cleaning off the rim, and, you know, and it was away for a while, but I have a feeling maybe there's something in that tire. So I don't know. Guys, it's a lot colder out here than I thought it was going to be. The temperature is dropping. So I'm not going to stay out here for too long. In fact, I didn't even want to turn the car off because of the fact that it's warm in there. And it's not so warm out here. In fact, there's more snow now than there was rain. So yeah, it's definitely getting colder. So yeah, now cosmetically, when she gave me the car, there wasn't as much rust. There was some, but it has definitely gotten bad over the course of 1 year. In fact, this is one of the worst spots of it. This entire quarter panel back here is starting to rust away again. She had that fixed by a body shop, and because it was doing this before. So when I got the car, it really wasn't doing that, but now it is. And honestly, I'm probably not doing anything about it. It's getting a little, you know, bad over here. There's actually a hole over here that developed within the year, and the rest of this really isn't all that bad. This side's still pretty good. The rust, same thing. She had it fixed, and it's back on this side also. So poorly done. She put the window tint in when she had it. She did the little sun. The vinyl thing for the sun shade on the windshield. LED headlights. She put the vinyl across the top of the headlights. Probably, I've been considering getting rid of those because it's starting to bubble in some spots. So we may pull those off. I'm still debating on it. We got the black stripe, which she had put on across the roof and the trunk. This aftermarket spoiler, nothing too obscene. it's just a nice, good looking spoiler, even though the one part broke off somewhere down the road. I don't know. She blacked out the lettering, which I honestly thought was factory. I thought that was all stock. Plasti dipped the wheels, the factory wheels. She had aftermarket wheels on here, but I didn't want those, so she had the original ones. And that's it. This has been peeling up a little more over the course of the year, which is, you know, sad. But other than that, I mean, it's been a little while since it's been cleaned up. But this car cleans up nice. It cleans up very nice. I wish I had the opportunity to do it before we really get into these drastically cold temperatures, but I think I'm out of time now. So if there happens to be one other decently warm day in the forecast in the near future before winter really hits, I'll probably try to attack it one more time before we really get to the winter. Speaking of winter, I'm freezing, so let's get back in this car now where it's nice and toasty warm. The inside of this car is amazing. I love this design. I absolutely love how many buttons there are. There's no touch screens, there's no huge displays. I mean, there's just buttons and knobs and, you know, analog instrumentation. I mean, it's I absolutely love it, and everything in here pretty much works. I mean, with the exception of like the air conditioner doesn't work, but obviously we've got great heat. The heated seats still work. We've got our leather seats. For the most part, they're still in really good shape. The back seats still need a cleaning from whatever was in the tote that was back there. Something leaked out of it and left a mark on the thing. But yeah, these leather seats are very comfortable. The driver's seat, I'm sitting in it, but you know, it's that's probably the one that's worn the most, obviously, much like, you know, our buttons here. Yeah, it's just it's awesome. Saab was very unique, even though this was technically still a GM platform car. You know, very unique in a lot of features, like night panel, for example, gets rid of all of the instrumentation, all the illumination. If you're on a road that is completely pitch black and you need, you know, more visibility, I mean, additional lights might distract you. So it cuts off the gauges, leaves only your speedometer and whatever information could be of use. And then you just, you know, hit that button again, and obviously turns everything back on, brings everything back to life. So that's sweet. You got the SID up there. It shows a whole bunch of other vehicle, you know, information. The outside temperature reader, I thought we were gonna have to replace the ambient temp sensor outside, but over the course of this year, it started working again, and it's pretty accurate. So I've been keeping an eye on that. I have no idea what that could have been, but yeah, it started working, and then there were days where it would work and it would start to read really ridiculous. Like one day it was reading 90 degrees, which it was probably somewhere around there, but then it jumped up to like 116, and there was no way. But it's been pretty accurate now, so I don't know, it's been good. The only issue that we really had in here was the CD player. Obviously, I need my CDs, but yeah, so when she gave it to me, the CD player quit working. It played, but the CD was stuck in there, so the drive mechanism wouldn't bring the CD out. Common issue on these again, so I ended up finding a junkyard once, and it turned out these are kind of like their own modules, so we were having communication issues now once I messed with it. And I had days where the radio wouldn't turn on at all, or if the radio was on, it would make a bunch of static noise, da, 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 da. So I had this one from the junkyard to get another part off of, and I decided to just stick it in there. And you know what? It fixed it. So I'm really surprised that it brought the system back on, even without being programmed to the car. But I haven't had any radio issues since. Still no CDs. I'm not going to risk any CDs going in there, so we just use the aux cord when we have our phone hooked up to it, and that's pretty much it. So That's really the only thing that has went wrong interior-wise, minus the gas gauge that appears to be working pretty well right now, which is kind of upsetting. We've got the key, of course, the signature Saab key. I love it. The nice shifter with manumatic shifting. I did clean the floor mats over the summer. I scrubbed them out, got most of the stains out of them. They're not perfect. I mean, they got almost 200,000 miles on them. But the mats do look a lot nicer. Sunroof not leaking, which is surprising also. It's just been a really, really awesome car, man. I mean, it's a fantastic car. There's so much snow coming down now. Oh, it's just turning into snow. I was gonna do some vintage shots with the new camera. However, I don't want that camera in the rain. I didn't think it was gonna be this wet outside, so I decided to not do that. We'll save that for another time, I guess, but oh well. So honestly, the really big repair that still needs to be done to this car that we haven't done yet, and you know, I want to get on it. The front struts. Both front struts have something wrong with them. The one I think has been leaking. The other one has a broken mount. So, you know, you can kind of hear sometimes when the car is being turned, you kind of hear the creaking of the the mount trying to turn. So I don't think I can get quick struts for this car. I think I would have to actually buy the struts, the springs, the mounts, everything separately, and actually build the entire unit myself. And that adds up. I mean, I calculated roughly about $600 to $700 in parts for that, and you know, a quick strut is usually a lot cheaper than that. If I can get quick struts for this car, and I'm still trying to find them, I haven't found any yet. I don't know why. I don't know if it's because this car is special or what, but you know, then yeah, we're definitely gonna do it with the quick struts. But if I got to spend $600-700 on, you know, individual pieces to actually build the strut, I don't know. I might just let it ride, or I don't know. I really don't know. So I think that's it. I think that's the only thing that I can really think of at the moment. Another big thing, especially with like these Ecotech designed engines, and this is a 2-liter, I think it's called Eco Power from Saab, but it's essentially GM's Ecotech engine. You know, they have issues with the timing guides over time. So this car having almost 200,000 miles on it, I have no idea if the timing chains and guides have ever been replaced. Now, we did do a valve cover gasket on this engine before my sister gave me the car, and we had a look at the timing chain, and the top guide is still there and the chain's still tight. So I don't see any immediate danger as far as the timing needing to be done. But I'm sure, you know, if I can end up pushing this car over 200,000 miles, there may come a day where we're just gonna do it, you know, just to make sure that it gets done. But you know, with a car this old, and I think I've said it in another video before, you know, it's all gonna depend really on what the rest of this car is, you know, how it's holding up. You know, if there's huge holes back there from the rust, you know, it may not be worth it. So I don't know. Everything with this car, with its age and condition, you know, it's all going to kind of be a case-by-case thing, I think, you know. I honestly have no idea where I'm going. I've never driven down this road. I just figured, hey, we'll just take a drive, and I'm in these netted areas, so I'm not quite sure where I'm going. But this is fun. This has been a nice drive so far. Now, obviously, with the age of the car, it's making rattles. It's over bumps, and things make other noises here and there. But that's with any car, specifically GM cars. Plastic becomes loose and stuff over time. Oh, speaking of loose, a little bit of play in the wheel, which still not 100% sure what that is being caused by. But the thing about that is where am I? Seriously, where am I? I mean, yeah, we're like in farmland now, heading out into the middle of nowhere. I mean, what? I haven't even seen any street signs that look familiar, so. The thing about the wheel, the steering wheel, that's another thing that's slightly loose, and we never really found out exactly what it is. I think maybe the rack is starting to wear on the pinion gear. The car handles pretty well. I mean, there's no lag in the steering or anything, but I don't know. Everything else seemed to be tight. Ball joints are tight, tie rods are tight. Didn't feel any play in the wheels individually. No idea why this does that, so I'm not really sure. Well, I found some cows. I found lots and lots of cows. I'm gonna go this way. I think I know what road this might be. I just don't know what direction I'm heading in. Okay, I think I'm gonna be okay. I did not realize how far out I was really driving, but I believe I'm heading in the right direction. It's been a nice drive though, minus the rain and the snow. And these roads are extremely awful out here. Jeez. I'm still really surprised this thing didn't drop to empty. It's making a complete liar out of me. Yeah, like I said, the suspension work is definitely something that needs to be done, but not a whole lot else. The hood cable needs to be replaced. There's a really stupid process I have to go to open the hood on this thing, so it needs a new hood cable. What else? I mean, it might need tires in time. The tires aren't too awful. We're going to do an oil change on it. The oil in here now, like I said, it doesn't even have a whole 2,000 miles on it, but it's been in there for about a year. Most expensive oil change ever that because it requires special 0W40 oil. So that was like a $60-some oil purchase when I did the first oil change. But that's coming before, we really get into the winter. That and the Grand Am both need oil changes, so I'll probably knock them both out in the same day. I really think that's it. I solved the radio issue for now. Oh good, a familiar sign. I know where I'm at. Anyway, but yeah, there really is not a whole lot else wrong with it. Alright, we have found ourselves onto a familiar highway, so we're heading home now. I'm probably going to wrap this video up. I don't think I have anything else to really say about this car at the moment. This really wasn't I feel like this video was kind of all over the place because, well, I didn't really think I was going to get stuck in the rain. I was going to do more stuff outside, talking about the car and this and that, but the rain kind of foiled the plans. But, oh well. Sorry, guys. Hope I didn't disappoint. So yeah, we'll head home and wrap it up. Gosh, made it back home and the gauge still didn't drop. Of course, now it's not raining or snowing just as we get home. But anyway, we're done. So, 1 year with the 06 Saab 932.0T. And I'm definitely looking forward to more time with this one and hoping that I can get the struts fixed and just kind of keep it going for as long as I can. So that's all I've got. If you enjoyed today's vlog, give it a thumbs up, comment, subscribe. I will see you guys next time. In the meantime, Take care.